Walkthroughs are internally made within Revit. Walkthroughs are a great help for designers and architects to visualize how their project is progressing, and it also helps facilitate in evaluating the design intent of their project, whether or not it is being met. Walkthroughs also enhance communication and understanding with the client. Once a walkthrough is created, you can show it outside of Revit as an AVI file. With an AVI file, you can further enhance the walkthrough with sound and even some additional visual aids. Now, to set up a walkthrough as an export, what you do is you come up into the Revit interface and go to the upper left-hand corner and click on the blue R. When you click on that, you'll see that export shows up. You go to export, go down to images and animations, and pick walkthrough. You'll see here that we are now in the length and format dialog box for this AVI. You'll notice that we have two options here for output as far as how you want your AVI to record in length. One is all frames, which means that your walkthrough has 300 frames currently. So all 300 frames will be in the AVI. Or you can shorten it up and you can come and hit this radio button where you get a frame range. And we'll start at frame 1. We'll run it through, let's say, frame 100. And once you have that set, you can come down to frames per second, which we'll keep at the same rate because it's kind of a standard. Then you come down to format, and you have a couple choices here that you have to make. First of all, visual style. When you click on the drop-down, you'll notice that you have wireframe through rendering available. Typically, when creating something like this, it takes less time to create a wireframe than it does a rendering. In fact, if you're doing a rendering, give yourself ample amount of time for it to process. Also, be aware that the file will probably be huge. In our case, what we're going to do is we're going to set it up as a hidden line visual style, which means there won't be any color in it. And then the next consideration is the monitor, as far as what screen size we want to put this on. Now I'm going to pick up a typical one here of about 1250, and when I hit tab, it will give me the correct ratio for that dimension. Now that I've got this set up, the only other thing I have to do is hit OK, and it's going to ask me where I want to export the walkthrough. I'm going to send it to my desktop. Here's the file name, and I'm going to hit save. Once I hit save, I'll get this video compression dialog box. I'm just going to press OK. Now what happens is that the export is working currently. It's actually going through and doing the walkthrough and at the same time creating the AVI file for it. You can watch it on screen. At the same time, you can watch its progress by coming down to the lower left-hand corner and watching the progress bar. We're about 23-25% completed. You can see that it's rotating around the building, and it will stop again at frame 100. So we'll be done at that point. About 50% on the bar down here. It should pretty much stop from doing it, and there we are. So that is how we went ahead and created our AVI. So once you've created and modified a walkthrough, like I said, you might want to export it out for a presentation. You can export a walkthrough to an AVI file format. Just remember that when you do that, make sure that you either do all the frames from the walkthrough or do a partial. At the same time, have consideration as far as the visual style that you want, and take in consideration the type of monitor that you're going to be making the presentation to. Once you've got your AVI file completed, you can then add sound and additional features to make a very effective presentation.